Okay, here we go. Chapter 14, Isla del Sol. Which, as I said last time, is probably one of, if not the most intense chapter in the entire game.
You're really not going to like what comes next. I hope you know that.
And the music for this cutscene is Luca's Delusion B.
Air Cheshire has awful in-flight entertainment and horrendous food.
Think about it. Those things that downed the jet aren't just going to let us land on their island. You think we can just say, "Hey, we're here," and they'll bring us a cake? Things look good from up here. But the further down you go, the harder it is to not notice the reality of things.
Oh, Luca.
Look,
Oh, I'm looking. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, Luca.
welcome to my fantasy zone.
And here we have which is basically a complete homage to Space Harrier. Pretty much, this is an exact recreation of the first two levels of Space Harrier, which is just amazing. I've never played Space Harrier, but I just love it that they did this. The music is Space Harrier Climax Mix. I believe also at the start when she says, "Welcome to my fantasy zone. Get ready." That is also from Space Harrier. Well, it's probably also a reference to Fantasy Zone. Now the font for the missile controls is actually the Afterburner font. So there's just loads going on with this chapter. It's just brilliant. The intercom says in Demon script, headset intercom, all along it, which is another nice bit of detail. Now it is possible to get through the entirety of this chapter without getting hit and killing all the angels, and I believe if you do so then you get a nice 1 million halos. But good luck doing that. It's difficult enough getting just a standard platinum medal, let alone doing it perfectly. Now, that text which says an intruder has penetrated your force field is apparently a reference to an old game called Salamander. Also, the Inspired are very easy to defeat if you have Eternal Testimony equipped, just because that, I believe, stores your magic a bit quicker. And you need your magic to fire the missiles. Yeah, this chapter is just kind of like, wow. I mean, doing the dodge move can be a little bit nauseating, especially when you're doing it incredibly frequently. But if you play your cards right, you should be able to get away with not using it that much. Also, there are 2 broken witch hearts in this chapter, both of which require you to use a torture attack on the Claude. So, I mean, your best tactic is to try and kill the other angels as quickly as possible, so then you can get your torture attack off on the Claude to get the broken witch heart, which you're definitely going to want to do, because the more health, the better. Now the funny thing about this chapter is that the Isla del Sol never really seems to get much closer. It's always kind of this distance, which is just a bit ridiculous, but either way, I just find this chapter, particularly kind of these verses, so much fun. I mean, I will say it's a bit too long for its own good, especially when you have to kind of constantly dodge Fortitudo's attacks like that. I'm just not very good at these bosses in this segment, so I have to dodge a lot. Especially because if you get 2 platinum medals in these verses, then you get an achievement, which I believe is called Fire the Afterburners. I mean, getting the platinum medals is difficult. Wow, that was a pure platinum. Neck. And I think up until doing this walkthrough, I never got it before. Also, I always thought these were ships, but they're actually kind of a variant of the Beloved, which I never knew before. I don't know why I thought they were ships. I guess it's just because being in the water and everything, it just kind of seemed to make sense. But oh well. Now this probably seems like a really weird time to be bringing this up. But basically, on Bayonetta's little compact mirror, in demonic script, you can see, I believe it's Umbra with a name, and then 1411 1219, which is a date, which is 1411 1219. So to be a bit more kind of accurate, that's the 19th of December 1411. Now on Jean's compact mirror, you've got the numbers, well, you've got 14, 12, 16. So Jean was born on the 6th of January 1412. So 2 of them were born 18 days apart, which is just quite sweet. I mean, you're probably never really going to get a good enough look at the compact mirrors to be able to read that, but I think it's just really awesome that's there. Especially because if you're able to read it kind of before kind of the end of this chapter, then you will have an important little plot point revealed. But we won't be covering that just yet. Yep. By this point, I've kind of run out of things to say about the Space Harrier thing. I guess kind of because I've never played Space Harrier, I don't have that connection to it. So this was just kind of an awesome little shoot 'em up section that kind of... I can appreciate that it is a reference to Space Harrier, now that I know that Space Harrier exists and that this is what it was, essentially. But I don't have kind of the nostalgia connected to it that would kind of make me notice it. largely because all of my kind of childhood was Nintendo games, and a few kind of PlayStation games, but not many. Anyway, the music which we have changed to right now is Wee Wee Jumbo Heaven Sent Mix, which is preparing us for what's about to turn up. And the text here says, "A huge angel, Temperance, is approaching fast," which is apparently a reference to an old game called Darius. But either way, I don't like Temperance here. He's just rather annoying because he's got such a small hitbox, and his hands get in the way, and it just quite frustrating. Especially because kind of, if you get too high up, then you're going to get hit by those things. If you don't dodge low enough, then you're going to get hit by the green glowy balls of death. And it's just rather frustrating. Thankfully, this is pretty much the end of the Space Harrier homage, so we're going to be getting on to the rest of the chapter after this. No, it's not over. So at this point my hands are already kind of dead, because if you tap the Y button, you can get a faster fire rate than if you just hold it, which is very helpful for killing things quicker. But also it ruins your hand. And after beating up Temperance, we have a little something that we need to do. And there's me getting the achievement for getting 2 platinums, which I'm very, very proud of.
It's brilliant, Mummy!
I have to say, it is quite stunning. And the music for pretty much the entirety of this cutscene is before the final battle with Jean, and then you have variants A, B, and C. So, yeah.
Welcome to Isla del Sol, island of wealth and power. Jean, if you've made it this far, that should be enough. You're back to your old self. This is where we finish what was started so long ago.
A friend of my enemy is also my enemy, be it witch or sage.
The Lumen Sages. They were our counterbalance as overseers. Between us, there was a law that was never to be broken. It stated that the intersection of light and dark would bring calamity to this earth. But 500 years ago, a child was born in clear violation of this tenet. That child was you.
500 years ago.
The disaster this caused sent the clans into a spiral of chaos that continues to be felt to this day. You, the half-breed of light and dark, are at the center of that chaos, allowing you to continue to exist is a danger that cannot be accepted. When the eyes of the world are within our grasp, the power of creation will be awakened. That is why the left eye, our treasured left eye, will never fall into the hands of another. The left eye, our treasured left eye, will never fall into the hands of another. Bayonetta, it is time that this is brought to an end. That you are brought to an end.
You did it.
It is our charge as witches to protect the treasures of the clan by any means necessary, even if it means burning every inch of this island to a crisp.
I'm really beginning to hate missiles. You know, I have no idea what the hell you girls got going on here. But you don't mind if I take this off your hands, do you? Get in, Cerecita.
Mommy?
Bayonetta, time is of the essence. This can wait no longer.
And so we begin our final battle with Jean. This wonderful track here is called Blood and Darkness. And, my word, Platinum Games know how to do a kind of these final battles. Just wow. Now you can, as I've said before, you can trick Jean into, well, you can get her into a bit of a loop with the Durga tactic. But, as I've said many times before, I'm just not that good at pulling that one off. Durga's just kind of a bit too fast for me, I think. I mean, using Kilgore is probably not the best of ideas either, because it's quite slow. But other than that, I think during this bit, it doesn't matter if you get hit, but either way, and now we finally get to see Jean in her uniform. And at this point, we are going to see kind of the extent of how ridiculous Bayonetta can get with throwing a missile. Well, more than that, we're having missile tennis. And the game isn't over with spectacles like that. There is, it is going to go further. You're unfortunately not going to see it, but it's possible to go a step up from missile tennis, which is just kind of wow. Now, what's quite cool is that one of the things that was brought up was on the blogs that Platinum Games did was the buildings, and kind of one of the ones that had quite a big focus was the fight where Jean's last stand is about to take place. So basically, the main thing is it needs to stand out, and as you'll see very, very soon, it's got water and everything, and it breaks apart, and it's just really a stunning place for the last fight. Also, this fight is stupidly intense. So your hands have been practically murdered after the Space Harrier bit, and then you have this, and it's difficult. It's really difficult. I've always struggled with this fight, always. Particularly because you've got the bit where you can witch walk, you've got the water flowing down from the roof, bits can explode. It's just a bit of a kind of really interesting building to be fighting on, and it's difficult to kind of sometimes read where Jean is. But either way, it's a great final battle with Jean. Because it just brings everything together. And even though I suck at it so badly, I do love it so much. Especially because kind of you have the bits where you've got the two of them, kind of the punching move and the kicking move, and it's just, the spectacle is just stunning. I honestly could not think of a better way to kind of close out the rivalry with Jean. It's just wonderful. In fact, kind of the last kind of string of boss fights are just, starting here, are just kind of absolutely spectacular and brilliant and wonderful. And they make the game what it is. They really do. They really kind of show what makes Bayonetta kind of the best non-stop infinite climax game ever. It's just something that kind of, up until this point, we'd not really seen anything that was, well, debatable whether we'd seen anything this good before, but I'd say not really. And I wonder whether we are ever going to see a game of this quality ever again, whether Bayonetta 2 is going to beat it, but we will see. And that is our fight with Jean done and dusted. Music for this cutscene here is Jean A.
Now it's decided.
So it is.
The fear is still not gone from your eyes.
Fear?
The memories you've held for 500 years are the source of your fear. They cloud your vision. But now, you've accepted your fate. That is how you bested me. That is why you possess the most beloved of Umbran treasures. That is why you possess the left eye.
We fought for this stone. And because of it, everyone died.
That gem brings back so many memories.
Music here is truth.
Our treasured left eye will never fall into the hands of another. I will not stand for the wild ambition of a treacherous lumen sage who disrupted our age-old balance. Your path ends here. Do not fear your fate. Stand, Teresa. In the innocence of our childhood,
The music now is Jean B.
we used to play together as friends. But as time passed, perhaps even my eyes were clouded with fear. We were. Do not fear your fate. Stand, Teresa. Stand and open your eyes. For with every truth, there is another one to be seen. Sean.
Hey, is it over? What? It's not like you don't scare the shit out of me all the time.
Cereza. I don't know whether to shoot you or to take you to Vegas for good luck, Cheshire.
Give me more credit than that. If you must know where L-U-K-A Luca is concerned, there's no such thing as luck. Only skill.
Music here is Miraculous Revival. It's got the exclamation mark and question mark at the end and everything. And it's wonderful.
You didn't expect me to trust bitches. I mean, witches, did you, Bayonetta?
And the music now is Bayonetta and Luca.
How's the little one?
Out like a light. But okay other than that. What about you? You really think I'm gonna let myself be seen in public with a girl looking all beat up like that?
Oh. I look dreadful, do I?
Huh?
You'll have to learn to wipe that stupid look off your face, or I'll never let you keep chasing me around this world. Got that? Luca?
Now that's more like it.
Now, that cutscene is just one of the many, many reasons why I love Bayonetta so much. Because even though it's got these ridiculously huge set pieces and it's so over the top and it's incredibly sexual, it still has a lot of heart in it, and it's just very kind of sweet. It's just Kamiya-san and the Team Platinum Games know when to do those quiet moments. At least they did here, and it's just wonderful. So, that's all of that done, and it's time to move on to the last normal stage of the game, which is Chapter 15. So let's move on to Chapter 15, A Tower to Truth.